Oh, welcome everybody. We are in episode 63 of the Marketing That Grows Your Business show. And I have a quick question for you. Have you ever wondered what it would take to be an influencer? Well, guess what? You are already an influencer. We're all influencers, whether, it's one person or whether it is 100 people or 1,000 people. And when I say we're all influencers, I mean, we all share things almost on a daily basis with other people who value our opinions. Maybe it's the best restaurant we've ever been to, or, our favorite tool or whatever. But in the context of today, I want to talk about it in a broader spectrum because we're all business owners and we are trying to attract our person to us. And so today we're going to be talking with our special guest about how you can use short form, I call it short form or snackable, small snippets of content, specifically video content, to attract your person to you, to ultimately sell more, attract more people, build a bigger community, have more influence, and ultimately sell more in your business. So if that is something that's interesting to you, you are in the right place because, y'all, it is so much easier, I think, to create 1 to 3 minutes worth of content than it is to create like 15-minute videos, right? So again, it's all the rage right now. Not only is it all the rage, but it is what people are consuming, which is the part that you really need to lean into. What content are people really consuming? And it's story content on Instagram. All the socials today really have story formats. Even Twitter has fleets, which is essentially a story. Pinterest, for crying out, LinkedIn has stories. So that short form content is where people are, and they're consuming that content because why? Because we're living in a world of content overload, and content that is snackable is, so much easier for people to connect to get some value from. And that's a way for you to show up and really thrive in this space. So, give me a minute to take a breath here and I'll let y'all tell me, where in the world are you and how was your weekend? Tell me a little bit about you. I'm excited about our special guest today because I've known Ray for years now, and I've watched him. He's always, as long as I've known him, he's had a very successful business, but he has really mastered every new thing that comes up in the space. And, he has the same model I do. You learn it, you do it, and you teach it. And so that's basically his heart is very centered around, sharing what's working right now. And this is definitely something that's really working right now. So I see we have Paul. Hey, Paul, good to see you. So I wanted to tell you guys real quick. So Rhonda is normally in the comments. For those of you who are with us every week, she's in the comments. She lost power right before we went live. So hopefully she'll get it back. If not, we're going to have to just fumble around and figure it out ourselves. Hey, Tracy, I'm so glad you're here. Real quick, if you've never been on one of my live shows before, my name is Kim Garst. I'm an online business strategist. I'm the creator of the Business Builders Academy, which is an online training portal that will help business owners in a way that is snackable. I'm going to keep using that word today, snackable. So I do a lot of mini courses, things that are doable, implementable in your business, and it's a monthly membership. So check that out if you get a moment. It's at businessbuildersacademy.net. And Adrian, good to see you as well from London. And Keegan, video and weddings. How fun is that? Excellent. And we have a Tampa in the house. So I'm from Tampa as well. If you're new and you have never been on one of my shows before, type in #new. I'd like to wave to you, say hey. Angela Brooks. We both know Angela. So love Angela. All right, guys. So a couple of other small things before we bring in Ray. Don't forget to share your love, okay? If you see something or hear something and you love it, don't hesitate to let us know. And we're doing giveaways we do giveaways on every one of my shows. But this week, what we're giving away is a Your Vibe Attracts Your Tribe t-shirt, because this is so important, I think, in the context of what we're talking about today. Showing up on video and, putting your vibe out there is what attracts your people to you. And then we're giving away a 1 month membership to the Business Builders Academy, what I was just sharing with you. So how do you win? Share those aha moments. I get my finger wrong every week. You'd think I'd figure this out. Share those aha moments with us. And an aha moment is like if you hear something and you're like, oh, that's so amazing. I needed to know that. Or you knew it, but you needed to rehear it. Sometimes those things happen. So drop in those hashtag aha moments, and that's how we pick our winners. All right. All right. So let me introduce you guys to Ray real quick. Let me tell you a little bit about him, and then we'll bring him in. You guys can put your hands together for him. So Ray is, and his wife Jessica, amazing. He's got an incredible family, but they're very passionate about helping small business owners generate more leads and sales through social media. Sound familiar? That's my jam too. I love that. In the past 3 years, they have helped businesses generate over 300,000 new customers. Lean into that one real quick, y'all. I mean, is that not amazing? And additionally, they just released a new best-selling book called Time, Money, Freedom. It was published by Hay House, and it's already an international bestseller. They have 4 adorable children, 2 littles, 2 practically grown. I think they're grown. And their 2 little ones, y'all, well, let's just say if you pay attention and you start following Ray, you're going to be like, oh, they're so cute, because they are. All right, let's put your hands together. Bring Ray in. Hey, Ray, how are you? Let me make sure I can hit the right buttons here. There we go.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Love being on here.
Yeah, I'm so excited you're here. I wanted to start with this whole influencer thing, because I think sometimes people, they think that influence has to be big. They hear the term influencer and they're like, oh, they've got to have millions of followers. So what is an influencer in a nutshell?
I mean, an influencer is someone that has people that follow them because they want to, because they add value to their lives. And whether that's through the more typical probably education or entertainment or a mix of both. I mean, that's what I would really define as an influencer. Right now, we're living through a brand new age of the short video influencer, where short video influencers are outpacing every other method of marketing that has ever existed. And so it's really a wild time, because I've seen people go from grinding at the standard social media sites and doing even Facebook Lives and even doing videos to transferring to some of these short video formats and utilizing new technology like Instagram Reels or TikTok or whatever, and they watch their influence go through the roof. And so we're living in the age of the short video influencer.
Ooh, I so agree with you. I mean, I think that when it comes to that big word, it seems like it's insurmountable. Like I can't get there. I'm never going to be an influencer. And the reality is, honestly, if you just have 100 people like that are tuned into you, like, that's a big number, and a big number in the context of the impact, not necessarily a big number, like it's not a million, right? But I would argue, and this is where I think there's a real opportunity, just because I'm seeing it myself, is, I've been in this space a long time. And so I have by a lot of people's measuring stick, I have a big following on social media. But my influence, I think, is, there's terms, they call them a macro influencer versus a nano or a micro influencer. I think there's so much opportunity right now for those micro influencers, because I think they have more impact, frankly, than I do with the bigger community, because I'm not as connected. I can't. There's too many people at this point to serve them and love them up as much as you can with those smaller communities. So do you think everybody, and I think the answer to this you just answered, but I'd like you to dig into it a little bit more. Can everybody be an influencer? Can everybody have the same opportunity to really lean into these small videos?
Oh, For sure. There's a couple things great about short videos in terms of becoming more influential. One, it's more doable, and I've taught, for years, like one of our terms is ILT, invest, learn, teach. You invest your time to learn something, then you teach it. And we've taught that for, God, I don't know, 9 years, 10 years, something like that. And even at that, when you know that, for example, Facebook Live rewards you for length, like the longer you can talk about something, the better. Well, you start to bump up against skill sets, and you start to bump up against where it becomes harder and harder for the person who hasn't achieved a lot to continue that dialogue without messing it up. Short video kind of solves that. And so, whereas just to compare the two, longer form or short video, is we may tell you in a longer form to read a book, take your notes, go live, share all those notes, and bada bing, that's how you have a chance of becoming influential at longer videos. However, if you don't have any results, and you may very well bump up against your own knowledge and skill sets and the way that you come across the longer that you go. You just don't have that. So for the short video influencer, I would say pick one. Pick one thing to talk about in that short video. And you also have a totally, I would say, untapped prior form of video, and that is the OCP, right? OPC, other people's content. Now, you could have quoted other people's content in the past, but with TikTok and with some of the other strategies that everyone else is, really copying, you actually can interact and utilize and remodify other people's content to make it very, very unique. And this is something that is important for the person who maybe doesn't have the most creativity or the most results or the most influence for them to start gaining. And I've seen people that, again, had been grinding on Facebook for years and years and years go over to, let's say, TikTok and build a humongous following. I actually interviewed two different guys. My friend Paul, who went from 0 to 250,000 followers in like 4 months, and he didn't have hardly any influence on any of the other social media accounts. And my friend Gabriel, who went all the way up to 850,000 followers. And Gabriel was telling me that whether he posts a video or not, and he's never had influence anywhere, just so you're aware, he only did short videos. And so he shared with me that whether he posts a video now or not, he gets 500,000 video views every day, whether he posts one or not. And so it's crazy with changes in the algorithm that really lend to these short videos. I think it's a really exciting time, whether you're brand new or whether you've been around the block like we have. This is the age of the short video influence.
Oh, I so agree. And one of the questions that I saw come through a minute ago, and it was such a great question from Christina, she asked about, what is technically a short video? Now, I know that there's different formats, and I wanted to dig into this a little bit more in the context of the individual platforms in just a minute. But, whether it's stories or TikTok or reels or whatever. What I love about the concept of a 1 minute video is that can be leveraged on all of these platforms. Yeah. So like, would that be the perfect like length for a great video for all those formats? Like you could, repurpose it for Instagram and TikTok and all those places. Is it 1 minute? Is it 3 minutes? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, for sure. And we're actually coming out with a 4 video series on how to become a short video influencer. In video number 2, we talk about remodifying content. In remodifying content, I share some of my routine. So I would say I consider a short video less than 1 minute or less is what I consider it. Ideally though, my sweet spot is right around the 30-second mark. And I know that, whether you're used to doing videos or not doing videos, that took a while for me to wrap my brain around. But from testing and tracking, we just get more oomph with that because so many different formats will accept it. So if I have a, 26 to 30-second video, I'll post it on TikTok. Okay. Now, first, I usually shoot it on my phone, actually, unless I'm trying to use some of the fancy bells and whistles of TikTok or Instagram Reels. But I'll typically shoot it on my phone, add captions to it, upload it to TikTok, take the original, upload it to Instagram Reels, put it on Twitter, fleet it, then put it in Facebook Stories. It is so flexible. And, we found that, if it's over 1 minute, you can go to IGTV. And, we do get some good traction over there, but nothing like the Reels. The Reels get, they get 2 to 5 times on Instagram. That's our experience, at least. And, I've been testing video. I mean, I've done at least one video a day every day since July 15, 2009. So we've tested, over 11 years of videos. We've seen what works and what doesn't. And so I'm shooting for that 30-second. Now, sometimes you got a concept you just can't get. That takes practice. And we give you some, tweaks and things like that in the video series. But ideally, 30 seconds is absolutely perfect. Less than 1 minute, you're falling into what I would consider short video.
Yeah, such a great explanation of. Now, I want to ask everybody that's listening or watching, even on the replay, question: do you think that you could create a piece of content that's 30 seconds? Like, there's no more excuses. Like,
Right.
There's no more excuses. Now, I want to back up for a second. And you talked about, and I know this myself, and it was one of my questions, and I jumped over it for some reason, but it's so important. You've been doing a video a day, by the way, since 2009. Okay,
Yeah.
so now just take a minute, okay, pause and think about that. Now, not 1 minute videos. Like, he has been doing videos every day since 2009. He is a content machine. So let me ask you this, for those, because there are people out there that are probably doing video content right now.
Sure.
And this is a mind screw for them. They're like, okay, like, how can I share anything in 30 seconds? So you've come from that space where you've been creating, longer form content. Now
Right.
you're having to reel it back.
Right.
Reel it back. There's a pun there. So what has that journey been like for you? Has it been hard to like pare down and, be more intentional and know that you have to be super succinct in that 30-second window, 30-second to a minute window?
Yeah. So there's one, and we talk about this in video number 1. There are what we see 3 main forms of short video. One is, the educational, right, where you're really picking a topic. And I mean, I'll share with you an example. I'll actually do it for you. I just recorded it, and I haven't posted it yet. I was on Clubhouse one of these days, but Friday, I think, and someone asked the question. They were saying, I'm a tough love kind of leader, and I'm trying to get more. They were a network marketer. I'm a tough love kind of leader, and I'm trying to get more of my people to step it up. What do you suggest? And so I responded to her question, and I definitely took more than 30 seconds to answer her question. But today I reflected on that, and I decided that, I'm going to do a short video on that. And so roughly that video is this. If as a leader, you only use tough love, you're going to run over people you could have helped. You see, when you use tough love, sometimes the people who have been through different abuses or trauma, they see you as associating with that abuser or someone that hurt them in the past. And so instead, have empathy. Have empathy. And with empathy, you're going to be able to pull some people and help some people that with tough love, you never could have. And that was about 25 seconds, I would guess, right?
Yeah.
One topic, it's connecting the person, like, whether the person has been abused, they connect with it, or whether the tough love leader, which I often have a lot of clients like that.
Yes.
And so the 2 main parts of these, if you're going the education route, is connecting. Can this person relate with me? And number 2, engaging. Are you answering their comments? Are you saying, oh, thanks, Laura, I really appreciate you? And that's really key. The second form is our skits. And so I do these really goofy skits where I usually 2 characters, sometimes I'm bold and I have 3, but I take a scenario that my audience is very aware of. And so, for example, we have a lot of people in health and wellness in our space, right, that follow our stuff and buy our courses, et cetera. And so I did a video where this person, person A is saying, hey, I saw you post on social media, you're trying to get healthier. I think my products could help. And then it pans to person B, who usually has a funny hat on or sunglasses or a mustache or something like that. And I'm eating a Long John donut. And I said, yeah, but is it organic? Right. And so, and then and then I actually lit a cigar. I didn't actually smoke it, but I lit a cigar, and I'm like, well, yeah, is it natural vitamin E? Right. And so that's a scenario that anyone in health and wellness can totally get. And that was, I know that one got 50,000 views on Instagram, and these are with no ads, about 1,000 views on Facebook. And so these are, skits are just really where you say, okay, who am I trying to attract? And what's a scenario that they deal with that upsets them, that is annoying? And how can you portray that in a simple skit? And then the third I've already talked about, which is other people's content. But yes, it was, I think the biggest challenge for me, just to be a little transparent, is emotional range. So that's probably been the biggest thing that I've worked on. I'm used to staying very high, positive, charge forward, overcome your obstacles kind of thing, and just working on the emotional range of going deeper. And so, for example, in the past, I would have said, I'm someone that, I came from a childhood of abuse. I was in foreclosure not too long ago. I was dead broke. And if you notice, the emotional, range, not very powerful. So learning emotional range in video, even in a 30-second video, is very powerful. And, so I might say it a little bit different way and say, you know what? If you're someone that's been through abuse, hey, I get you. I understand. I went through that myself. It's not easy, right? So just same roughly words, but a much different emotional range. And that's something hardly anyone's teaching right now. But we find that you can mix that into short videos and really get people to understand that you resonate with them, they relate with you, and you understand them.
I love that concept because it gives us an opportunity to grab people's attention very quickly. And
Yes.
and I think that's the missing element in marketing today is what is that one, it's the emotional connection, the relatability factor,
Right.
and putting yourself in your person's shoes, and really understanding that the people that we're trying to attract, they don't, they're not there to find us necessarily. They're there to connect with things that matter to them. In order in order for us to catch their attention, we got to matter to them in some way.
Right.
We've got to whether it's connecting on the fact that her husbands never take the trash out. Well, mine does, but you know what I'm saying. A lot of
Absolutely. Perfect
it's
example. Yes.
exactly it's the human things that people are connecting to. So
Right.
we had a couple of questions here. I wanted to go back because I thought they were super good questions. Like the 30 seconds of content. I know you pointed out how you would do this before, like you shoot the content, you do this on your own phone or on your phone initially, and then you put it in all the places. But like you shoot a 30-second, like the video you shot this morning, very small snippet of stuff. And then can you just restate where you put that once you do that?
Yeah. So my particular order, and Instagram rolled out. I mean, this was several months ago. They said that they would not be highlighting TikTok branded videos because what most people used to do, and some still do, is they would upload to TikTok, whatever video it created for them, which would have a little TikTok logo, and they would upload that elsewhere. Well, the two problems with that is Instagram, owned by Facebook, has said that, hey, we're not going to be giving you as much traffic to TikTok branded videos. And number two, it's always tempting and usually smart to use music in TikTok. Well, just because you use it in TikTok doesn't mean you can legally use it in Instagram. And I've seen people get in trouble over that. And so instead, I like to do it on, and there are apps that will like remove the logo for you. And, I don't do it that way, but you can certainly do it that way. I don't recall the app off the top of my head, but they are out there. So I typically record on my, just using my phone, right? My phone and the internal video. Then I go and get captions, and the app is actually called Captions. I know there's a few out there called Captions, but I use an app called Captions. It'll, smack the captions on there, which is very powerful because some people, depending on what platform, are watching with the volume down. And of course, those that need closed caption, so it helps them out too. And then I'm creating it, getting captions, uploading to TikTok, which that will create a TikTok branded video, which I don't use anywhere else. Take the original video with captions. I'll put it, if it's around the 30-second mark, I'll put it on Instagram Reels. If I did happen to go over a minute, which happens sometimes, I'll do IGTV, which, we've tested that. IGTV definitely gets more traffic than it used to, at least for us, and I think for most people. Then I'll load it on Twitter. Once it's loaded on Twitter, I'll fleet it, which is just like you said earlier, Twitter version of stories. And then I'll post it over on my Facebook stories. Now, I don't actually post each video to Facebook because I found that Facebook doesn't really reward short videos as much as they should. I think maybe in the future they will, or they'll have a little bit different platform or something like that. But right now, if I upload a video to to a short video to Facebook just on my profile, it really doesn't get that much traction. We may get 1,000 views for a good one, 600 views for one that doesn't go that well. But I will always post it to my stories. Now, if it's over, I think it's 26 seconds. If it's over a certain length, it will trim the video. And all I do there is I say full video on Instagram. And so some people are catching part of the video and then they got to go to Instagram to catch the rest. And so that's really the one additional thing that I do is I'll send the video file to my ad team, and they'll later on, they'll add it to our page and run usually a little bit of ads to it just to test it out for free content reasons.
Yeah. And, there's also, and you could also, just as a quick, for those who are looking for possibilities, you could take that content and share it to the new YouTube Shorts. You could take it to Pinterest. You could take it to LinkedIn Live. Not LinkedIn Live, LinkedIn, because LinkedIn has stories as well. And most of these platforms now, even though it's a video, they'll slice it into the increments for stories. Nice. So like Instagram, for example, if you upload, you take your 30-second video and you put it into stories, it will clip it into those 15-second snippets so that you don't have to 15-second, who can do that? So it used to be so hard to do that. So those are other options.
Those are great. I need to add those to my routine.
Yes.
But I will tell you, I will share the reel to my story, but I'm not posting it direct to stories. I will share it to stories. So if you share your reel to your stories, those views do accumulate. I think one thing that some people don't get is your stories are being watched by people that want to watch you. They know you already. They're following you most likely. And they're like, hey, what does Ray have going on? What does Kim have going on? Reels, you have a very good chance of attracting people that don't know you, have never seen you before. And we really have TikTok to thank for that, because Facebook and Instagram prior to TikTok, they just wanted to tunnel vision everyone to who they're already like watching. And so it was actually hard to break through. It was hard to get into arenas and circles where people didn't know you. Since TikTok, and they don't have any kind of limitation on that, Instagram has adopted that with Reels. And so that's one little distinction that I've seen.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because if you're just starting or you've struggled You were talking to people that that have been doing amazing things with short form content, whereas before they were just like, treading water, like, oh, golly, why am I doing all this? And there's a lot of those people out there because, like when you and I started, it was easier. Like, used to Facebook was giving us reach, and now, like, you're not getting any reach unless you pay for it, or something catches and goes viral, or, that kind of thing. So having the ability to get in front of people, and on Instagram in particular, right now, they're really pushing reach. Anytime, obviously Instagram is owned by Facebook. So anytime they roll out something new, and in this particular case, they're trying to pull away TikTok users. So that's the only reason they started Reels. And that's the only reason, frankly, that YouTube started Shorts. They are, I don't know if afraid of TikTok is exactly the word, but they're trying to reel those people back into staying on their platforms because TikTok really took off, right?
Yeah.
But the nice thing about, and I love what Ray just said about the ability to be found, because the way that TikTok operates, and I think the way that Reels operates, is they're showing people like content. So their algorithm is like paying attention to what you're watching, and then it'll surface content that's similar. And so now we have the opportunity. It's kind of like a lookalike thing inside of Facebook ads, where your content's being shown without you having to pay for it to people who are more likely to be interested in your content. So boom, I mean, right?
Yeah. And I've seen people. I mean, I remember when we first started on TikTok, and someone, because we've been doing Facebook for whatever 10 years or however long, and we've been doing other things, and so I get started on TikTok, and I do some video that's like giving video tips, and this guy comes on and he says, "You're giving advice, but you don't even get that many views. No hate, Merry Christmas." Like that was his post. And so I responded to his comment, and I was just like, "Hey, you know what? We're just getting started over here. So yeah, we've built a success. We've Inc. 5,000 company. We've made, we've generated tens of millions of dollars online. But you're right, we are new at TikTok. But hey, why is that so bad? How many people out there have value to add that haven't yet hit their stride on this platform yet? And let's maybe give them a break." And that video, what was shocking to me is that video got, I don't know what it's at now. I haven't gone back and looked at it, but it was over 40,000 views in the first week. And here's the kicker. I only had 300 followers at the time. Like, can you comprehend anybody on Facebook having 300 friends or followers and getting 40,000 views without an ad? Of course not. Doesn't exist. And so, like, it's just like, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. I mean, it's funny in a way because the guy was like, picking on me or whatever. But it was powerful to see that take off with such a low number of followers at that time. So it was pretty cool.
Well, that goes back to relatability. And I think there's an underdog thing there too. Like, right? Like, we want to support the underdog. And in lots of cases, we're in those shoes too, where, like if I was to start on any social platform today, I'd be starting just like anybody else. And newsflash, we all started where anybody is at any given time. Like, we all started at ground zero. It's just a matter of, how much time and energy we put into the specific places, right? So I'm super excited about short form content because I think there's no more excuses. Anybody can do this.
Yeah.
One of the questions, and I'm gonna tie one of the questions into the elephant in the room. Okay, so the elephant in the room is everybody's thinking TikTok, and they're thinking, okay, let's assume. In fact, let's do this real quick. I'm going to do a quick poll of the audience and say, how many of you guys have TikTok on your phones? Just drop in, yes, I got it, or no, I don't. Oh, I know you got it, right? So let me tell you my quick story. So I downloaded TikTok, and this was back when, the Chinese are like, spying on our phones and that kind of stuff. So eventually,
they already are.
Right. I mean, they probably got a chip in my coffee cup here. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I ended up deleting it off of my phone, but not because of the Chinese. I got addicted. Like, I would spend I mean, hours, like
Yeah.
watching things, like
Yes.
because I could consume so much content so quickly. I mean, my
Yeah.
thumb was just a going, and
Yeah.
I was scrolling through content and things that would catch my attention. I was like, okay, I'm spending way too much time on this. I gotta nix this. So we were seeing some nopes, some yeses. So it
Yeah.
looks like
And
um,
just and
Marty
just to
says
add,
no.
just to add to that, I mean, I'm not the social media scroller. I'm just not. I
Yeah.
just, I'm very efficient. I get in, I get out. TikTok would get me. I have to watch
Yes.
it time too, man. Like that's just like, oh my God, that's hilarious. And then, oh, that's awesome. And so
Yeah.
they're very good at serving up content for sure.
Yes. And, the more you look at a certain thing, and I'll just be honest, because it was so gross. I was like, when I first started the first day or so, for some reason, I kept seeing pimple popping
Oh man,
videos. And I'm
you
like,
can't look away. You
I
gotta,
know,
you gotta
I
wait. Like,
know. It's so
go ahead.
gross.
Yeah,
And why
this
am
is
I
so
watching
gross.
this? And then because I watched a few of them, I kept getting more of them. I'm like, oh gosh. So I had to
Yeah.
stop watching the pimple. I'm like, it's just sometimes I know that's totally
I
gross.
like the ingrown hair one.
I
Just like
know, it's
so
like so
terrible. You can't
gross.
look away.
So gross. But the interesting part about TikTok, even though it's addictive, I find the same thing is true on Reels now. So I yesterday I got to watching some home transformation things, and I'm like, oh
Oh
great,
yeah.
now here I go. Or we're talking about my makeup earlier, makeup tutorials, eye makeup tutorials. Like this is an experiment. I saw it on YouTube, and now here, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So the
Well, I
point
think it works.
is. Yes. So the point of all of this, though, is that short form content or these small snippets of content is a perfect way to attract people to you. But going back to the TikTok thing and the elephant in the room, lots of times if you have TikTok on your phone or Reels or whatever, and you see all this content coming through, you see a lot of movement, you see a lot of people jamming. Do you have to dance to catch your people's attention?
No, no, you don't. You definitely do not. Now, what really what was really cool to see is how improved the video editing tools are. And so the person who I don't know how to edit a video. I cannot edit a video. I mean, I can like make it shorter, longer, but other than that, I can't do anything. But the video editing tools are really amazing and really easy. And I bring that up because no, you don't have to dance. Two, you can actually, with just the tools and just basic understanding, you can really create some interesting, creative, unique videos and have some fun. I know some people that have built humongous followings just doing lip syncing stuff. And for me, even when we do a skit, there's always a lesson. So I still want to maintain a circle around who it is that I'm wanting to work with and help and attract. And so I don't do. I've done a few, but I don't do the full blown goofy videos or the full blown dance videos. I just don't do that. I think there's enough ideas and opportunities for you to stay around the campfire of who you're trying to attract and either be educational, skit, or use other people's content. Another thing to be warned about too is Clubhouse. I mean, how many people get on Clubhouse for 9 hours a day and they're learning, at least, right? They're not consuming goofy videos, but they're learning. But what are they creating? Are they connecting with people? Are they messaging people? Are they creating their own marketing? And so I think this past year has been the year of a very addictive apps. TikTok definitely one of them, and so is Clubhouse too.
I so agree. And it goes back to time. How can you use your time most effectively? Like I heard my friend Shalene say in the early days of Clubhouse that she just deleted it off of her phone because she didn't want to spend 30 seconds trying to prove she was more awesome than all the other people on the stage.
Yeah.
And I was like, so true. So when I first started, and I love Clubhouse because of the connection and the conversations and stuff that I have over there, but I'm very intentional with it. Like I'm
Yeah.
either there as a guest or,
Yeah.
I haven't ever done my own well, I think I did one, but I just felt like, again, some things, and even what we're talking about right now from the perspective of, I think there's honestly there maybe that's not a comparison, but you've got to find your thing. You've got to find something that's going to work for you, and instead of trying to do all things. The interesting part about what we're talking about right now is this could be one thing for all things.
Yes.
Right? So this could be
Yeah.
one strategy that you use that could be used in all the places. And
Yes.
I want you to hear that because it's too hard today. It is very hard. If I had to start fresh today, I don't know if I could recreate what I've built because it's a sea of content out there today. Like if I'm going to blog and all the things they tell you we got to do and all the things that those of us have been around for a while do, for a new person that's starting, it's hard to gain traction there. So
Yeah.
if you can create a 30-second to a minute of content and then use that in all the places, you're going to stand, I would say, 100 times more chance of actually attracting people to you than if you're doing doing it the hard way,
Yeah.
right? So,
I agree. If I was starting, I would. If I was just brand new, totally starting, I would focus in on short videos. That would be my play. And once they started taking off, then I might launch podcast. Then I might join as a guest on Clubhouse or whatever. But to me, this is the play. The short video, becoming the short video influencer. That would be my absolute focus. And then based on when did it take off kind of thing, I might, branch off and do a podcast or blog. I don't know. I don't even know if I would blog at this point, but people still use Google. They still
oh,
search and they
absolutely.
find videos on Google. And
Yeah.
so like, there is still validity to SEO, searchable kind of content, but that would not be my first step if I was brand new.
Yeah, I mean, and just thinking outside the box here, even if you have been doing those things, right? All this stuff that you've already created is fodder for short form content. So you go to your blog and you say, okay, maybe you've got 3 ways to do Y, and you create, here's 3 of my favorite tools to create great graphics, and you could tell people in 30 seconds what those 3 tools are. So there's so much opportunity for really attracting people, and then you could use that piece of content where it's the 3 things, and if you want to know more about how they work, you could drive traffic back to your blog where they could get more information.
Totally.
Which is the next question I have for you is one, then they kind of tie together. How are you using these short form videos to actually take them somewhere else where there's a more robust opportunity to get them to spend money with you?
Yeah, so there's a few ways, and in video number 3, we talk about how to make money with short videos, and so a couple examples. So one you're seeing right here, right? So I have our this is our newest book with Hay House. It's called Time, Money, Freedom: 10 Rules to Radically Reshape Your Life, and so I'm almost in all of my videos. You'll almost always catch something in the background that might raise curiosity. So like on one wall, I have, the 2 Comma Club X from ClickFunnels, which means you have a funnel that's generate 10 million. And I have multiple 1 million things and an Inc. 5000 plaque. Well, I have people on a pretty consistent basis say, hey man, I saw your plaque, man. Like what is it that you do? Or, hey, how do I learn more? Or just that, just from a background, I'm going to do the video anyway. Why not raise some curiosity? Now, if you're in something like if you're in network marketing, that doesn't mean I would have the name of my product, because they'll just Google that, right? They don't need to talk to you about it. They'll just Google it, and then you lose the opportunity to talk to them about the way you want to position it. But might I, if I have an energy drink, I got a friend, Mary Schrank, who she does videos, every day, short videos every day. And sometimes she'll be shaking up her drink and, like my Go Juice, and, then she gets all fired up. And so, but she never tells you the name. Well, how many times a day do I see comments of, hey, what are you drinking? right? So that creates an opportunity for her to connect with them in either a direct message or even in the comments and share further. Another way is you can always, if you're doing a video, smack on a text call to action. Hey, join me for our next 3-day boot camp. Hey, make sure you ask me about my favorite apps to use. Hey, make sure. So you're doing these call to actions, which I would suggest in long form video too. But that's something you can add. And then I would say a third way of a few is what I call mumbling. Now, mumbling sounds like a terrible idea for videos, but a mumble is where you're not pitching something, but you're bringing it up. Okay, so if I wanted to talk about coaching, I could say, last week I was talking to one of our inner circle coaches, and she asked me the question of, what do I do if the person is just not showing up, et cetera? Well, I just threw out inner circle coach to raise curiosity. And so I'm not sitting there saying, if you want to know more, then make sure you reach out, right? I'm not saying that. And so if you're a chiropractor, you could be talking about patient. If you're a hairdresser, you could talk about client. If you're a coach, you could talk about client. If you're a network marketer, you could talk about teammate. You were on a leadership call. You were at a retreat, whatever. And so those are a few different ways to raise more curiosity. And then, an obvious way is those who do comment, feel free to reach out to them. Hey, appreciate your comment. You may or may not know what I do because you watched a skit. Here's what I do. I don't know if that pertains to you, if you're open to it, right? And so there's so many different ways for you to connect once you are putting out consistent content that turns them on. And so that's
Love that. I call them hooks. I
sure.
use this a lot when I'm teaching contagious content, where it's a fishing analogy, where we're basically trying to reel our person in. I keep using the reel, so we dump chum into the water, and it's a curiosity factor, or a connection point, or they hear something and they're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
So I know you talked about reels. Well, let me back up for a second. You're currently sharing all this in all these different places, but if you had to rank where you feel like you're getting the most bang for the time and energy that you're putting into the videos right now, is it one platform or one, is it Reels or IGTV, or where do you feel like you're actually getting the most bang?
Instagram is the most predictable. TikTok, for me at least, has been a roll of the dice. And we've had clients that go on to get 1 million views of a video. We've had clients, gain amazing number of followers. And it's until you reach a certain point, it's not super predictable for most. And so when I post videos, even now, some videos will get 5,000 views, some will get 500 views, and, posted at the same time of day, similar content, similar hashtags. And so TikTok for me is worth it, right? Because I do post there Monday through Friday for sure. But it's a little unpredictable. Instagram Reels is pretty predictable. I know that I'm going to get at least a certain number there. And it just seems, I find most things on Instagram are more predictable, but you always have the chance of TikTok. You just never know when something's going to take off like crazy over there. And I've seen that. I've seen that with a lot of students we work with.
Yeah, I think, and TikTok, there's still a lot of people that see that more as a younger generation. I don't believe that. I believe that our person is there. If we're a little older, our age or whatever, I believe that people are consuming content there. But again, it just goes back to where are you comfortable and where can you, really connect and serve your person. So real quick before I ask Ray, go ahead, Ray.
One last thing. So it's the way that technology seemed to work years ago was when a new platform came out, it was complicated to learn because you had learned all the nuances of Facebook, you had learned all the nuances of whatever else you were on. And so the new one was I don't really get this. TikTok is so intuitive and so easy. And you're going to see your demographic. And so there are plenty of boomers on there. There's plenty of older generation on there. And of course, there's plenty of young people. But technology, I feel like, maybe with TikTok, technology finally went the right way and things are easier. Like technology is supposed to make your life easier, not more complicated. So this is one of the reasons that, we look at our groups, and we're actually in the process of, we're moving those into our own software, because Facebook has just become, at least for groups, in my opinion, has become, kind of clunky. And so TikTok, very, very simple. You really, my advice is, if you've never gone on there, go on there, spend about 10 minutes swiping, test some things, and you'll be shocked at how easy you figure things out.
Yeah, I think so too. I've never created any content for TikTok yet, but I tell you, I'm getting more intrigued all the time. And I think I was, and if this is you, I think you can relate to this. I was a little worried that I had to do the craziest things. I mean, even what Ray's doing is not something I would probably do. I'm more of a,
We should do one together.
we should, because I think that would be fun.
I'll do one side, you do the other side.
Okay. I think that would be super fun. Now, I think I could do that, like in that context. Yeah. But like the planning and all that kind of stuff, I know me. It's why I built this, like, my studio is one place. I just come and sit down and I can, I can go live. I made it easy for myself. So I feel like that for me, that wouldn't be something I would do. But I think that I've seen so many amazing pieces or amazing people sharing what I would call talking head content, where it's just, tips and strategies and 3 ways to do whatever, like the normal, like stuff, like where, and dentist, for example, I've seen dentists do amazing things over on TikTok and Reels, and, plumbers. Like, just, not the average, like, type of thing that you would think would blow up in those environments. And I speculate that that'll be true. One other question that I saw go by, Chuck asked it earlier, and I want to circle back to it real quick. When you create your content, is it vertical or is it landscape?
It's vertical. That's what all of the short video formats like. Yes. Yeah. And this is, I struggled to believe this, but I was chatting with Frank Kern, and he was telling me, and Frank, if you don't know who Frank is a very, very big marketer. He's been around the game for a really long time, has spent 100 million in ads. I don't know. It's got to be way up there. And he actually said that even on Facebook, which was just so hard for me to buy into, he said even on Facebook, vertical videos work better. They get more traction, they get more views, and it's obviously because more people are watching on their phones. Now, if you're a repurposer, right? So we'll do a video on Facebook, take it, put it on a blog, right? We're so used to horizontal that, that's what we do. But vertical, for short videos, you definitely want vertical. And it's even been shown that verticals work better on Facebook. So even if you're going live on Facebook, they have proven that vertical does work better. And one other thing that Frank shared with me was they've tested doing super high-end video with the, ridiculous 3-4 cameras and the, big dog studio. And they've tested that versus just recording off your phone. The phone videos have done better. They believe that it's because it's more relatable. Yes. And because, when you see this big production and everything, it's kind of like foreign to the format you're used to. And so they've tested the crap out of this, and, shooting off your phone is
well, I have a great example of that. Shalene, we both know Shalene. Sure. She's a fitness pro, and she was, and had was marketing her PIO course, and they did a full-on big production for a TV shoot, right? So a commercial that they were going to put out, and it got nothing. Like, it was so like dull and boring, and no sales started coming in, or it was low sales. And she talked the company into letting her do one with her phone. And like anytime I'm on the West Coast now, I see that video, and it's all been done on her phone. And
Awesome.
it's promoting the PIO course, and its sales went through the roof. So I totally agree with you on that. So there's no excuse. Everybody has one of these. Like we
Yes.
all like we don't go anywhere without it.
Right.
It's about just taking the time to create that content. I think
Mhm.
though a lot of people are probably struggling with content ideas and what to put out there and that kind of thing. Which hang in there. We're gonna talk a little bit about how you can follow this trail a little bit more and get some free content from Ray. Ray's getting ready to come out with something that's going to be so amazing. That's why I'm so excited about this. I'm going to give you a link that you can sign up to get on the waiting list. So you're the first people that are going to know about what's coming. And you're not going to have to wait long. It's going to roll out on Thursday. So you guys are going to have access to that. But I wanted to take a minute before I give you that. So hang in there. We're going to tell you who the winners are in just a minute. And we're going to winners of the giveaways. I know we dropped it into the comments, but I'm going to pull them up on the screen just in a minute. And then we're going to talk about how you get on this. But I forgot to mention our sponsor, and I cannot not mention our lovely sponsor. So let me give you guys a little bit of details. I want to give a special shout out to them. They're Restream. This is my go-to platform for live streaming to multiple social media channels at the same time. Like right now, we're live on here on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, all at the same time. Multiple Facebook groups as well. You can go live up into like 30 locations, I think, at the same time. So if you are in multiple Facebook groups or you have multiple places you want to go live, you can do it with one blog at a time, which I love. Restream has a super easy to use interface for doing cool transitions, bringing comments and customized text on the screen. And you can have up to 9 guests at the same time, which is pretty cool if you want to do like a Brady Bunch kind of thing. You can also brand your live shows with custom show overlays, your logo, and even pull in custom graphics and videos. In my opinion, this is the perfect platform for new and experienced creators alike. And y'all, I have just a super sweet offer. They gave to me to be able to offer up to you guys a 25% off for life. So if you want to check them out, you can go over to kimgarst.com/restream. 25% off for life. I very rarely get to work with a brand that gives me that kind of a discount. So definitely check them out. You're going to love them. And next up, I want to talk about what Ray has coming up real quick. So Ray has something big coming up. So if you want to be the first to know, go over to kimgarst.com/something big, like now, like quick, and get on the list. So can you give them a little bit of a sneak peek?
Yeah, we're going to be releasing a 4 video series on exactly everything you need to know about how to become a short video influencer. Video number 1 is how to gain your first 1,000 followers using short video. Video number 2 is how to remodify content to double your engagement and reach and influence. And then video number 3 is how to make money with short videos. A lot of times you hear people talk about reach and influence and everything, but at the end of the day, we want to generate money so that we can help more people and make an impact in whatever way that we want. And then video number 4 is our roadmap video that takes you through everything that you need to know to be a short video influencer. And that opens up. And Kim, I will hand it to you. I think you are like the first major influencer to be sharing this, so you really are getting in on this right in the beginning, and I think you'll really get a lot of value from them.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. I was telling, we had a quick little meeting with Nick, who's on Ray's marketing team. And, I said, normally when people are teaching this, they approach it from one lane, meaning, they'll teach Instagram Reels or they'll teach,
Right.
TikTok or whatever. But I love how Ray is bringing this up, meaning you can leverage this short form content on in all the places. So this is a core strategy that you can embrace, that anybody can do, and then anybody can get the benefit from it. So I'm super pumped about this, and I'm going to be doing this. So I want to invite you to join me. Come on, go over to kimgross.com forward slash something big. Let's do this together. I want to say real quick, and Ray's person is primarily somebody that's a network marketer or direct sales space. But I don't want you to get like sidelined by that language, because it doesn't really matter who you're trying to attract,
Right.
whether it's somebody that's signing up in a network marketing business, a rep. If we look at that person in the same light, we're looking for customers, or we're looking for clients, or whatever. It doesn't matter, like, whether it's a rep or it's a client or it's a customer, we're still all in that same space where we're trying to leverage the power of, short form content or short form videos to attract our person to us. So I hope you'll take advantage of this free content, and you'll get started, because I think you're going to be super blessed. So I'm seeing some people that says, just signed up. It's free. Well, let me say this, because I think that a lot of times when we say that it is free, one of the things that I liked about Ray's definition of how he does, I say it differently, but it's the same thing. I say learn, do, teach. He says invest. And I love that, because it's free outside of the fact that you have to lean in. You have to get involved. You have to invest the time. You have to give it the time and, do the work. You can't just say, oh, I want that. Like it's window shopping, you got to, yes, you got to do the work. But still, he's going to put you down the road a lot farther. If you're seriously interested in this, go check it out. And I'm super excited. So real quick before we let Ray go. So Ray, outside of this, do you have any other thing that you want people to connect with you, on IG or any place that you would like people to connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for like examples of short videos, I mean, feel free to check out my Instagram. I have a lot of skits on there. One fun thing that I do, if you do decide to go the skits route, this works very well. I just kind of stumbled on this, but on the weekend, typically you get less engagement, I found, and less reach. But what I've been doing is putting together several of my shorter videos and making it like a compilation. And that's actually, and posting that on IGTV. And that's actually been working really, really well. And so I didn't know if it would, but it has. And so if you want some examples of what I'm talking about, and then of course on Thursday, you'll get video number 1, which is how to gain your first 1,000 followers through short video. And you may already have 1,000 followers. This is how to gain 1,000 more, through short videos.
I love that. So I'm just quick challenge, you guys. Are you doing it? I want buy-in here. I mean, first, let me back up for a second. I don't want to pressure you into doing something you don't want to do. But do you think you can do it? Because I don't want to be the person that's, the tough love scenario that, Ray was talking about before. But do you think this is something you can do? Does it sound more doable than all the other stuff that we, jump through hoops to do? So I'm just curious. Drop in yes or no. I'm excited about this for everybody that has an opportunity to tune into this, because I think it's a game changer for sure. So Maria's saying yes. Shannon is saying heck yeah. I love this. Angela says short is sweet, right? I think there's a whole play on that with YouTube Shorts. I'm just saying. And then Paul's saying yes. Michelle is saying yes. Taya, I hope I say that correct. So doable. Excellent. Excellent, guys. All right. Well, take care of yourselves, everybody. I appreciate you being here. I know time is your most valuable asset. Ray, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and golden nuggets. And I'm excited. I can't wait for Thursday to get here. So yeah, I haven't done my first reel yet. So I'm excited.
Goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be crazy.
So I could be a test case.
Yeah. Nice. I like
All
it.
right. All right, guys. Well, take care of yourselves. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Our guest next week is going to be the one and only Brock Johnson. So we're going to be talking Instagram again. So Brock is going to be our special guest next week. We haven't nailed down the topic, but it'll probably have something to do with the short form content. Hint, hint, hint. All right. All right. Take care of yourself.